All right, well, welcome back to Exhaust Sports Auto. My name is Kevin, and this is going to be, I guess, a part 2 to my full review that I've already done, which is probably like an hour long. But yeah, there's actually more to talk about here. Why? Well, that's because this is a pickup truck, and pickup truck owners, enthusiasts, whatever you want to call them, are very peculiar people. They want to know every single nook and cranny and whatever. Like, they want to know every nuanced detail about these vehicles, what makes one better than the other. I mean, I've already discussed a lot of this in the review, but I already mentioned in the review that my father is actually thinking about, well, he's not thinking about, he already actually placed an order for a 2021 SR5 Tundra with the TRD off-road package. That should be coming within a week or two. And it is going to be a Crew Max 4x4, all that good stuff. But this is the 1794, so obviously, do I feel like a big ballin' Texan, like I just like I own the entire construction site? Do I feel that way? I mean, I kind of do. I mean, this interior is pretty astonishing, so there is that. And I talked about the build quality. I mean, just everything, when you just touch up against some of this stuff, the wood paneling, I mean, it doesn't creak, doesn't rattle, nothing. Just very solid, and I absolutely love that. But yeah, I definitely do think the Tundra is a very misunderstood vehicle. I mean, all the praise and everything goes only to either American trucks, or if we're talking about cars, like German cars. I mean, these are the vehicles that always get all the praise and all the hype, and I just don't think that's really fair. But luckily, owners, buyers, they know what's up. I mean, people who own Tundras, they just keep coming back to the brand, mainly because they never get bent over in resale value or in terms of reliability. There's no real obscene repairs that need to be done. I will admit, on our 2010 Tundra, the more expensive thing did go out in that vehicle, and that was the wheel bearings. The wheel bearings are a pain, so that's something to keep in mind, and that it was like around $1,000 to get that whole thing replaced. Very easy to kind of, effortlessly whip this vehicle around, but as you can see, 11.2 mpg, that's what maximum thrashage. Of course, every time you do that, expect this vehicle to get that. But that's with all the trucks, and that's the unfair thing. I mean, everybody complains about the MPGs on a Tundra, yet all the other trucks I've driven, the Ram Rebels, anything with like the top tier V8 engines or an EcoBoost, they all get like 11, 12 mpg when you stomp on them. So that's just the reality. I wish more people would talk about that, but I don't know. That's just what I've experienced. This vehicle, right, it doesn't have the TRD off-road package, and there's a new Bentley over there, but who cares about that when we have the top tier 1794 Tundra. But anyway, like I was saying, this vehicle with the 20-inch wheels, no TRD off-road, I mean, how does this compare or drive? Well, compared to the 2020 18-inch TRD off-road setup that I drove, that was noticeably softer, and I enjoy driving that a little bit more, a lot more actually. But fortunately, this vehicle is still comfortable. But I do agree that the TRD off-road is a mandatory option on these Tundras. I think most owners would agree with that. Let's see here. Merge onto this little highway here. As you can see, it certainly does make a racket, that's for sure. It's not the fastest thing in the world or anything like that. Don't expect it to be. None of these trucks are, though. That's the thing. But power is still plentiful. Fortunately, these vehicles are effortless. Merging onto the highway, that's never an issue. Just stomp on that throttle a little bit. But I think 0 to 60 was about 6.5 seconds on these vehicles. That sounds about right. I mean, it is like 5,700 pounds. Coefficient of drag 0.38, so it's only so much, right? So that this vehicle and this engine can do. But yeah, fortunately 20-inch wheels still rides very good. I put it over some really terrible bumps and no problems for sure. It soaked up all the bumps just fine. But TRD off-road, it just handles a little bit better. And usually what I notice with larger wheel and tire setups, you know, smaller sidewalls, is the steering kind of improves. But this still kind of has like that deadness in the center there, as you can see. Fortunately, high speed stability is fine. The truck feels stable. There's confidence here. That's good, but I'm just saying I would have liked that on-center deadness to disappear with the larger wheels, but that didn't really happen. But with the TRD off-road packages, I've noticed that there's not as much slop in the steering. No idea why that is. Something with the suspension, the way it's set up. I think it's just better for the steering as well. I'd be curious to try out a Trd Sport. So there's two different types, a Trd Sport and a Trd off-road. Trd Sport will come with 20-inch wheels and a suspension setup that's more tuned for street driving, like more handling, I suppose. So maybe it'll feel closer to like an F-150 or something, who knows, but haven't tried it. If you're an owner, like you've tried a Trd Sport and a Trd off-road, let me know how they kind of compare to you, or if you even notice a difference at all. But if you're scared of 20-inch wheels, don't be. They are very comfortable still. But you can actually get the Trd off-road package on the 1794. That would make this like the ultimate kind of cruiser, comfy truck. But that vagueness in the steering, that does actually help it to feel a little bit, you know, easier to drive, if you will, more leisurely. So I do enjoy that, but, you know, something to keep in mind. You know, objectively, I like the other trucks. I'm not biased towards any trucks. My father isn't either, actually. He was definitely open to other vehicles, but it's just like this truck, there's the least amount of compromises made here. It's still very comfortable, especially with the TRD off-road. It's very close to the Ram in terms of ride quality. Wind noise isn't ridiculous either, so that's good. I mean, all of these trucks have wind noise. You can't really get away from that because they just sit up higher naturally, and the coefficient of drag is just naturally higher, so there you go. Oh my God, these red lights are so annoying. I don't want people to see me with like a GoPro on my face. It's very annoying. But whatever. When they see it, people just like look at me, so that's kind of annoying. All right. Let's see here. I mean, handling wise, I mean, you know, for everyday street maneuverability, it's perfect. Effortless to drive, no problems. I like the fact that Toyota doesn't use ridiculous tires. Unless you option it that way, but I like the Michelin all-terrain tire that they use on the off-road packages. It basically reacts and performs just like an all-season, so that's good. And even these 20-inch Bridgestone dualers, whatever they're called, it's very good, very quiet for the most part, not too much tire humming or anything like that. I think the F-150 objectively, I haven't driven the absolute brand new F-150 that just got redesigned, but I did drive a 2020 Limited and a 2019 Raptor. And I will say objectively, the F-150s are technically the best handling. They're like the easiest to whip. It's like one of the lighter weight trucks due to its all aluminum design, chassis, all the good stuff. But the Ram is pretty extraordinary for sure. It's very quiet. It's got a nice plushness to it. Just feels like a luxury SUV basically. So there you go. Do you see the leisurely pace that this guy's going at? This is what you have to deal with on an everyday basis. So there you go. But that's fine. You know, we can take it nice and slow, like this guy who's going 10 under the speed limit. Yeah, I mean, conclusions, I mean, like I mentioned in the review, man, you're not going to go wrong with any of these trucks. You're going to enjoy driving all these trucks. That's not the issue here. I mean, if you come from like some type of Chevy lineage, if your dad owned one since like, you know, 1632 or something like that, go ahead, man. Go get your Chevys or your Rams or whatever you want. I mean, again, all these new trucks, they're all fabulous. They're all great to drive. They're all refined. I mean, they all feel like, you know, luxury SUVs basically, so there you go. But isn't this something though, like this guy in front of us, like that is pretty extraordinary, right? Damn, that's awesome. Like, who drives like that? Holy crap. There you go. It's got all the thrust you need, for sure. But yeah, back to the point at hand, buy any of these trucks, but our preference has been the Tundra for a long time because least amount of compromise, like I mentioned, very comfortable, refined, easy to drive, reliability, resale value, you'll never lose there. Those are the classic arguments people make for, you know, buying a Tundra. However, me personally, we also like driving it as well. TRD off-road really does transform the driving experience, both in refinement, handling, all that stuff. So, I don't know, you let me know your thoughts down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure to check out the full review. It'll be linked down below. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and goodbye.